बसता दगडालाही मी पूजियले गम्य अगम्य सर्व चिठळले गम्य अगम्य सर्व चिठळले भरता पोकळी रिकामी आई तुझी या धामी ब्रह्म शोधिले ब्रह्मांड मिळाले आई तुझी या असत्व सर्व चिठळले मजला अंतर्यामी आई तुझी या धामी ब्रह्म शोधिले ब्रह्मांड मिळाले आई तुझी या प्रयत्न निष्फळ ठरले यत्न प्रयत्न निष्फळ ठरले विलोपले श्री चरणी आई तुझी या धामी ब्रह्म शोधिले ब्रह्मांड मिळाले आई तुझी या शक्तीने कल्पतरुला तव शक्तीने कल्पतरुला देयो
All right. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. For those of you who are new, my name is Nina, and I will be co-hosting the second week of the 21-day meditation challenge with my friend Kartikeya. So just before we start again, is there anyone new? If so, please write your name in the chat, and we will organize a breakout room in just a minute to give a brief introduction to Sahaja Yoga. And this is for those of you who are watching through Zoom only. And for those of you who have been following the course for the past week, the theme of this second week will be balancing your awareness and getting to know all the 7 energy centers in your subtle system. And the topic of today's session in particular is cooling down the thinking. And understanding the second energy center, which is the Swadhisthana Chakra. So I'm very excited for today's session because I feel like a lot of people will relate to the things that will be said today. The Swadhistan is the seat of our attention and is therefore very important in allowing us to achieve a proper state of meditation. Stress and overthinking can lead to unbalanced Swadhistan, and usually what takes us away from having a balanced Swadhistan chakra is our thoughts. Always thinking and organizing and planning can really affect our Swadhisthana chakra. There are, however, various techniques in Sahaja Yoga that help you to bring your second energy center into balance, like, for example, foot soaking. So this is what we'll be trying out today. And I personally really love this technique, and I do it every night before sleeping, as it really helps me to get rid of any unnecessary stress or negativity that I've accumulated throughout the day. And so our invited presenter today is Sue, who is working in finance in Melbourne and who has been meditating for about 3 years now. So, hi, Sue. How are you? You're muted. I think you're muted.
All right. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for having me as well.
Our pleasure.
Yeah. So today the topic is about thoughts and how we cool down our system. And it's actually quite a very fitting topic that got allocated to me because it was me dealing with my thoughts that got me to my quest, my search, seeking for the answer. I think it's because the job I'm in, it's pressurizing, and the thoughts, the awareness, and uses a lot of attention. And I felt that there's a lot of juggling, and hence it was very exhaustive, actually. So it comes to a point that I kept going, and then came to a point that I really had to take stock and say, there must be more to this. And so I basically deconstruct the whole thing, reset, and search and quest. So here we are, which with Sahaja has taught me a lot to basically put things into perspective. So the topic today is the thoughts of you, or are you the thoughts? So that itself, it got us thinking. So we just have to be not let the thoughts govern us too much, because that means we will be over exhausted, and we'll be using certain part of our chakras, and very easily we can be out of balance. And later on in the program, we will also be having a Mataji. In her speech, she will also give a cover about, if we do exhaust these Swadhisthana chakra, which, as Nina mentioned, is important for attention, our thoughts, clear thoughts, proper awareness, and so that we remain in the center. Yeah. So we have prepared some slides today, and today the program would be covering foot soak, which actually is very befitting, because foot soak is a good way of cooling down the system. And so what do we need for foot soak? Firstly, as we've mentioned, basically the food soaking bowl, the salt. The salt is basically the earth element. So with the food soak, we have the water element and the earth element. And so then there is obviously the, we, ideally encourage to have a fresh glass of water on the side for basically rinsing our feet. And then basically then there's a paper towel options of a fabric towel just to wipe our feet. Also with the food soak bowl, we encourage you to use this bowl purely for a food soak purpose. Think of it as your toothbrush, basically, to help you with your daily management of cleansing. Okay, next. Yep, filling the water. Okay, how is it? Hot water, cold water? Preferably lukewarm, but as you get more used to your subtle system, you will know whether you need a cool bucket or you need a warmer bucket of water. But lukewarm is a good start. It's neutral. Yeah. Okay. Next. Handful amount of salt. As I mentioned, salt is the water element. The earth element. Yeah. And then pouring the salt, adding the salt. Yeah. Back in the salt as well. Here, because we're talking about all vibrations, we're talking about energizing ourselves. We can give bandhan to the water, so that is vibrating the water as well. All right, we can go through that when we go through the food soak program later on. Okay, next, thank you. Okay, this is a guided positions, ideally how you should be seated. Relax, obviously, comfortably clothes with all the whatever that you need, which is close by, so it's easily accessible. Yeah. And basically, this is the positioning of your feet, the depth of the water, ankle high. Yeah, so it will be very soothing experience. Yep. 10 to 15 minutes, palm open. We'll be in a meditative state when we do these. Remove glasses, you're wearing glasses, depending. There's no clear or wrong. Basically, is how you feel. Yeah, is the main thing, because you yourself, this is your own food soak. So we will always advise this in whatever technique that we're going through, that we are just giving you a guide, and you be the own judge for yourself. Yeah, as you go, you can adjust, you can fine tune. Rinsing. So this is the part whereby you rinse, rinsing, cleansing. Yep. Next. And wiping down. Yeah. It's and disposing of the water, just flush it away. Don't use it for watering the plant or anything like that. Yeah. Yep. So that in essence is the food soaking element to what we'll be covering. Okay, the next one we're going to go through is basically the slides on topic about thoughts. So let's have this slide that we've put together. And Swadhisthana is the chakra for creativity. Yeah. So this is the slide basically as a cursory to where we start. The right channel, the left channel, which we've gone through. The whole idea is to have that dynamism, to be having that joy, ability to feel that joy, to feel our heart, and more importantly is the yoga, and the yoga is not a physical yoga, is the yoga, is the connection with the all divine, with the divine. Yeah, and the thoughts that come through. We've covered that it's thoughts is basically a lot to do with our right channel, and action, the thoughts and the actions, and when it gets out of balance, we will, we most probably will not feel it at the beginning, because we don't know any better when we don't have our self-realization, and we thought we'll just keep going. We control the thoughts. We are in control. and then we start planning, and then we have planning, we have plan B, plan C, we become futuristic. Yeah. Okay, next slide. So we talk about the balancing of the 3 channels, that is to bring it back to the center. So futuristic could be, tomorrow, next year, 10 years. The past, which is the left channel, which we covered yesterday, which is in the past, dwell. So it's good, not to say that thoughts is not good. We do need that. Is when it become excessive in either side. That's where we will, we might not know it. Our system will show it. We might still not know it, but because the whole Sahaja Yoga is about your wellness in terms of your subtle system, and in a gross persona is your physical well-being. Okay, so the whole thing is together. We've put this together. Is basically an enhancement, because we talk about feeling a lot about vibrations on our hands. So today is number 2, which is the color orange yellow. Yeah, so it's the thumb. That is our Swadhistan, our chakras. Yeah. Even though if I should mention that we are focusing on our chakra, which is Swadhistan today, but as we do our meditation, do not focus on just the Swadhistan, because you be guided by your own Mother Kundalini. But in terms of the clearing and the techniques and the emphasis, yes, it's on the Swadhistan, so that you are guided by the whole thing. But you feel that your Kundalini guide you, and that's the whole aim. Yeah. Previous. Yeah. So creativity. So this is the Swadhistan, which is above the sacrum bone, which is beneath the close to the spine area. Creativity is the what it governs in terms of our physical being, is the aortic plexus, the thumb, which I just mentioned. And then in our toes is the toe that's highlighted in the same color. So it's basically the whole thing is color coded. We are an integrated web in our system. So in your start out of your journey, we've just mentioned the main connection. But as you progress, you will learn a whole lot more about how the chakras is connected. But this is a very good start. Okay, next. Okay, a bit more in depth into the Swadhistan Chakra, color yellow. Fire element is the element. So I think it's befitting, because you have to mention you do need the fire in the belly, the action, but in balance, it's good, it's required. Yeah. Quality, pure knowledge, creativity, aesthetic. In our system, we have the right and the left channel, as well as our chakras. So we have the left Swadhistan, we have the right Swadhistan, and being in the middle as well, we have the middle. So in terms of the left Swadhistan, it governs more about your pure knowledge and your pure desire. And what you mean by pure knowledge? Pure knowledge is knowing about your subtle state system, going more in depth, feeling the subtle of the subtlety. This is all when we listen to Mataji's speech. She uses terms like these, So later on, as you progress, it all makes sense. They really do all make sense. Yeah. So pure desire, pure knowledge is your left, and then whereas your right is pure attention. Yeah. So and when it's all balanced, you you will excel in the undertakings that you do. You don't have to overthink. You don't have to overplan, and I think the main thing is about, you think that you have the awareness, you think you have the attention, but it's when you overdo it and you become clouded, and it can potentially not give you the result or what you aim for. And that is what we call, by overdoing it, being too extreme. We keep on saying that everything in balance is the right approach. Yeah. And interesting, the region it governs is Africa. So there is a map also in terms insight from our chakras. It's linked to places on the earth. It's all interrelated. So yesterday, when we went through Muladhara, that is Australia. So the quote at the bottom is basically a very important and powerful quote from Mataji that says, we can basically go through it. It is the importance of that, the thoughts and the ideas that that resides in the Swadhisthana, and how we deal with it. Because, say for example, when I started out with this journey, I would tell my friends that I'm going for meditation. They would just look at me, in bemused, because me being that thinker and being that, always the planning and all that, how is she going to quiet down? And I think I wasn't sure how I was going to quiet down, but I knew at that time that I needed to. And I think that is where you call the pure desire. And if you really want to, and everything will come. It takes a lot of patience, obviously. So it can and will. And I think when we are quiet and in silence, when in the middle, that's where the ascents happen. And that's where you get your cool breeze and you feel a whole lot better. Yeah. Next, please. Yeah. The whole idea about this is stop overthinking. And that's me. I color-coded everything. I color-code something to color-code something. And it's just go, whoa. I mean, it comes to a stage that I don't know what color is for what color. I can laugh about it, but it was hard, But I think, and also with your thoughts is important, because now I can most probably be a witness to that, and that is taking a step back and not being in that all the time. And trying to say, I will be here, and all that is basically taking a step back. And I think in the sense that when we are meditating as well, when the thoughts come, and we do have to apply that patience and with ourselves. And yes, the thought comes, but you just let it fade. And it will. You don't fight it, you don't defy it. You try and just watch it. It's watching it is the key to it. Yeah. Next, please. Let's meditate. Yeah, how beautiful. I mean, that is just an amazing joy, and the amazing the peace. It's beyond words. It's really beyond words. And the beauty of it, and the amazing, and I'm just lost for words, is because it's real. It's you feel it, because we're taking you these programs at the very, very beginning is just giving you the tools and the pointers. But at the end of the day is you feel it. Yeah, that's the main thing. Next, please. Yeah. I think the main thing about this for me is inner peace. I look at things in a different perspective. I feel, you open up your heart. You revisit a lot of things. Okay, my favorite flower is the hydrangea, and here it is, the hydrangea. But is hydrangea from within the hydrangea? So this is a view from inside the hydrangea, that you look at things and the joy and the beauty, and it's just in front of you, but you just never sort of like realize it. You see clearer, you feel deeper. Yeah. Next. This is basically because I followed Paul, a yogi that presented I think Paul, about four sessions or 3 sessions ago, he basically struck a chord with me and said that, meditation, is like a all land whereby, you have your Kundalini is realized, you've got your self-realization, Kundalini is awakened, but the feel to it is the meditation. And the whole thing is you want to remain with the light, with the illumination. You just got to tend to it. You tend to your all land. And I find that, to me, this particular single picture wraps it up for me, and it's about inner peace. Yeah, I think that is the slide that we're going to go through. Okay, so we will now give you a minute or so to get your foot soak ready. The whole thing is we don't want the foot soak, adjust the water to the temperature that you feel good for yourself. And then we'll start our meditation. So we will be in meditation, taking you through the foot soak in meditation. And then we will listen to Mataji's speech. It's on Swadhistan. It is a topic about the elements, the way that she look at what sort of overaction, the characteristic in people. As a result of that, how our system cope or balance out the imbalances that we have as well. And actually, while you're getting your foot soak ready, foot soak, why do we want to do foot soak is also an important thing, is because aside from clearing our chakras, is also we are like a sponge. When we are out and about, say for example at work, we are sponges. Like we will be affected by others' mood or any bad situation, or the pollutants around us that can affect us as well. And a day or two it might not matter, but constantly if it's accumulated, so that can also be not good in our quest to be in the center, to be in the present. So that's why foot soak is a good technique. All right, let's, hopefully everyone is ready for their foot soak tub. And okay, we will get into meditation. So if Tanya perhaps may put up Mataji's photo, let's steady our mind. Steady our mind. Let go of anything that I've bothered you today. Just 3 deep breaths into our deep breath. Steady our mind. Any thoughts that come, just let it slip away and it will fade. Let's raise our Kundalini with attention. 3. Tie the knots. Bandhan, left to right. 1, 2. Steady our mind. Let's give bandhan to the water 7 times clockwise. Place your both feet into the tub. Steady your mind. Let everything, all the negativity, be soaked into the water and the earth element in the foot soak that we've set up. Drop both hands onto your side. Let all the negativities be absorbed by Mother Earth. We surrender. We surrender all the excessive thinkings, all the worries, any emotional lethargy. Be absorbed by the elements. Slowly, the thoughts. If it comes, it doesn't matter. They will fade. They will fade. Just be in the present. Palms back on our lap. We are now going to clear our left channel. Yeah. And have our right hand down on Mother Earth, the left hand on the palm, on the lap, left hand on the lap. Mother Kundalini, please clear our blockages on our left channel. Please empower our left channel. Please remove all negativities. All the conditionings. Just let it go. Both hands back on the lap. Nice and easy breathing. We will now maintain our right hand on the lap will raise on our left hand, pointed to the ether element, to the sky, with the palm facing backwards. Mother Kundalini, please clear all blockages from my right channel. Please empower my right channel. Please remove all excessive heat from my left channel. Don't worry if there is any tingling on the palm, any heat. It's just a clearing process that is started. Hands back on our laps, both hands on our lap. No more thoughts. Both hands raised slightly closer to our heart level. This is our Santanadi, our Sushumna Nadi. Mother Kundalini, please energize my Sushumna Nadi. Please guide me in my dharmic ascent. Please take me to thoughtless awareness. Let me be in the present. No more thoughts. Hands back on the lap. No more thoughts. Steady the mind. We are higher than this mind. We are not just this mind. We are not just the body. No more thoughts. Let's now focus on our Muladhara chakra. Let's remove all the negativity from the Muladhara chakra. Mother Kundalini, make me innocent. Give me pure wisdom. No more thoughts. Steady the mind. Let's now move our attention to the seat of our Kundalini, which is in the sacrum bone. Mother Kundalini, Please energize my chakras, energize my nadis, clear all blockages. Now move up to the next chakra, which is the Swadhisthana Chakra. Focus on our left Swadhisthana, which is just slightly above our left hip. Mother Kundalini, give me pure desire, give me pure knowledge. No more thoughts, state of the mind. We can now, with our right palm remaining on our left, put our left palm closer to our liver on the right side. Place the palm there, which is slightly above the pelvic area. This is our focusing on our right Swadhisthana, where our overthinking, futuristic thoughts, over planning creates the heat. This will help to cool down and will remove all the heat to help to be absorbed by the elements that we have at the moment, the food soak, the water and the earth element. Do not think, no more thoughts. Both hand back on the left. Let's focus on our center Swadhisthana. Mother Kundalini, please give me inner peace. Let the vibrations flow through you. Let the vibrations flow. Let's place our right hand onto our heart. Mother Kundalini, come into my heart. Open up my heart to love and joy. Make me compassionate. And here we can acknowledge that I am the spirit. Let the vibrations flow. Hands back on our lap. Feel the light of the spirit, the cool breeze on your palm. And we can now focus on our Sahasrara. We can use our right hand and raise it 3 times from Muladhara to Sahasrara, close to our body. Place your hand on your frontal bone area. Let our Kundalini settles on our Sahasrara. This is our yoga. You can rotate it 7 times clockwise on our frontal bone area. Lift your right hand a few cm above. Feel the cool breeze. Find that spot. Hover your arm, your hands around it. Find that spot. And then focus on that spot above your Sahasrara. Hands back on our lap. Pure attention. No more thoughts. Do not think. Let the vibrations flow through you. 1 more minute. With full attention. We can now slowly open our eyes. We can raise our Kundalini. And we can, when you're ready, we can rinse our feet, wipe down dry, and then put the tub aside. Later on, after the session, we can pour the water away. But with attention still on our Sahasrara, we can get ourselves organized. Don't rush, at your pace. When we come back, when you're ready, we're going to play Mother's speech on Swadhistan. Tanya, when you're ready, please. We can remain in meditation while we listen. I hope everyone is feeling the cool breeze.
We have a center especially for futuristic behavior called as Swadhisthan Chakra, which is in the gross manifesting the plexus called the aortic plexus within us. Now this Swadhisthana Chakra is very important for human beings, especially for people who are developed. With this chakra, actually, we convert the fat of the stomach for the use of the brain. Now this is the center of the Surya, of the sun. Now when we start thinking, these cells are converted in such a way that they become useful to the brain. Now, if you are thinking all the time you are thinking, then what will happen? I mean, the horns are not going to grow out of that. You are consuming all that. And when you are consuming all those cells, you have to have replacement. And for that replacement, this Swadhisthana Chakra has to work very hard to convert the cells for the use of your brain. Now, when it is doing that, there are other things which this Swadhisthana Chakra has to look after. For example, your liver, your pancreas, your spleen, your kidneys, all are to be looked after by this center, and also uterus for the ladies. Now, when there's only one work is given to this Swadhisthana Chakra, and it cannot do any other work, then other things are neglected, so you develop a terrible disease called liver trouble. Now, liver trouble is another thing that you do not feel yourself. Others know that you are liverish, the way you are hot-tempered, the way you are fussy, the way you always snarl at people, and the way you are never satisfied with anything, the way you criticize others. All this is liverish, and such liverish people are never happy with themselves, because liver looks after their attention. And those who have liver problems, their attention is horrid. That goes like this. You cannot keep your attention straight. On the street, you will walk straight into a car because you are looking at something which you are not supposed to look. But all the time you are looking at like this. You cannot walk. I mean, you won't find any animal like that who walks like this. But only human beings do it. If you see them on the street, you'll be amazed. Where are they walking? They don't walk straight. They don't walk straight. But their eyes are going this way, that way, because the attention is wobbly. The attention is wobbly because of a bad liver. So this liver is a very, very important thing. Now this liver has a special capacity to extract all the poisons from the body as heat. And the heat in the body is to be transformed or should be conveyed to the blood or the water in the blood. And that has to be taken out of your body, maybe as perspiration or in another forms. But what happens? That when this liver is out of gear, it cannot do it. It cannot pass this heat into the bloodstream, and the heat remains in the body, and you really become heated. And that heat makes all these problems for you. So, in Sahaja Yoga, what happens that when Kundalini rises, she changes the form of the blood. The hydrogen and oxygen which are placed because of this heat and all that in a very funny way, like this, like that, and they start receiving this heat within them. That's why those people who have bad livers feel little heat when the Kundalini rises. But one can cure it by giving it that peace and comfort to that liver organ, and you can definitely cure your liver, no doubt about it. Then the second thing that happens to you is the pancreas, which gives you diabetes. Only a person who thinks too much gets the diabetes. For example, an Indian farmer doesn't know what diabetes is, but then you stop your sugar. But that's not the way to stop your diabetes. Diabetes comes to you because you think too much. The doctors won't understand this. That's why they say it is incurable. But because they cannot connect thinking with the disease. And this is what happens when you are all the time thinking like mad, then diabetes takes place. And this diabetes is also curable if you get your enlightenment. You can cure also the diabetes of other people, but because this vital power, which is integrated of all these three powers, flows through you, and you can replenish, you can give more to other people who are exhausted of it, and sort of you can fill them up with this power and you can kill. The third one is the worst of all that happens to people is blood cancer because of spleen. Spleen is one thing very important, that it is the center of peace within us. The one who doesn't have a proper spleen cannot be peaceful person. Now, it's a very simple thing, but doctors cannot connect it, nor all science-oriented people can connect it to something very, very simple. And the simple thing is that when we eat our food, if we are frantic, we are out to get trouble with the spleen and we can get blood cancer. Now, if the mother is of that temperament or a father is of that temperament, the children might be born with blood cancer. Now, we will be happy to tell you that in New York, we had a case of blood cancer. And when I was in India, in a village, somebody came and told me that such and such boy is sick. He's only 16 years with blood cancer, and doctors have declared that he's going to die within 2 weeks' time. They always declare, they are good at declaration only. And when this case came to me, I told them that I cannot do anything, I'm in a village, but you can telephone to one of the Sahaja Yoginis. She was in England, now she's in New York, and she will look after this case. You'll be amazed that the boy was cured completely. He came out of the hospital, came to see me, and now he's gone back to his studies. I mean, like this we have cured many cases of blood cancer. But here we are not to cure people by any or healing anyone. That's not our job. It happens spontaneously as a byproduct of the Kundalini awakening. Main thing is we have to make you doctors. We have to make you knowledgeable people. We have to make you collectively conscious human beings who have to enter into the kingdom of God to reside there in His peace, bliss and joy. Now this trouble of also of kidney, of high blood pressure, all that is due to this. People worry, they are frantic, you see, and this franticness comes to us just as a matter of habit. I have known people, as soon as you say, oh, you have to go by aeroplane or somewhere, suddenly the aeroplane word triggers that frantic, oh, and they get mad. They don't know what they are up to. They will forget their passport, they will forget their luggage, they forget this, that. Frantic. At the airport, if you go, you'll find this left navi, as we call it, this center is the spleen was frantic. Now, when you eat your food or do any such work, there is an emergency created and more blood is needed to digest that food. So this spleen, poor thing, works very hard to create that extra amount of blood cells. But at the time you are eating, you are also reading a newspaper. That's the worst thing one should do in the morning. Horrible. You read the newspaper, you are eating the food, the spleen goes off because another emergency comes up. Then you get onto your bicycle with a sandwich in the hand. It's even worse than that. And you are rushing to your work, suddenly you find a big jam on the way, then you are even very badly placed with the situation and you get so frantic and you don't understand. And the person who is in front of you goes on saying, oh, what's wrong with this fellow? Why can't he drive fast? And the same fellow is saying something exactly the same to the another fellow who is going ahead. So this mad race is on, this rat race is on, and if you are eating your food in such a hurry and with such franticness, you develop this trouble, which is very dangerous, called as blood cancer, and among young people is very common. Now, the last and not the least is the trouble of the heart. When you pay too much attention to all these outward things, to material things, to your all material advancement, to your physical advancement, and to so much of computerization of your brain, then you neglect the necessary attention to your spirit, which resides in your heart. And so the spirit receives. And when the spirit receives, you get a heart attack. Only a person who is right-sided gets a heart attack, and never a person who is a left-sided. I told this to a doctor, and he told surprisingly that in a mental hospital, we never need a cardiogram. We do not need it. They never get a heart attack. A madman never gets a heart attack. surprising. A person who is mad is using his heart, his left side, his emotions, and his heart should go out, but no, his brain goes out. Can you imagine? And the one who uses the brain, his heart goes out. This is the balance created by nature in us. See how cleverly the nature is trying to guide us in the center. Don't go to the extremes, keep to the center, and then when you are absolutely in the center, then you get your evolution very quickly.
Thank you, Tanya. I hope everyone enjoyed the session. I hope we can get some insight into what Mother's speech nudges in the right direction, why we need to be in the center. I hope the foot soak helped as an introductory, which we are more than happy to continue on to work with you on the technique. Also, later on, the program will give you more techniques for clearing, and we will go through bandhan that we've given onto the water. We can do bandhans on the chakras, which I think Parisa did last week in a few sessions ago. But we will re-emphasize, we will revisit the techniques to help you, to basically guide you. But once, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to give us your feedback so we know how you're traveling. Yeah, thank you for having me. Over to you, Nina.
Thank you so much for today. Kari?
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Sue. And yeah, so I mean, this session has gone a little bit longer, but of course, it's a very important topic. And as we've gone through this process, hopefully you feel a bit of a difference compared to the normal meditation that you've been doing in the past, in the couple of last few days, with the foot soak included. You may tend to feel a lot more calmer now, especially in the evening. It's highly recommended to do that in the evening, maybe when you come back from work, or even just like, whenever you have a time in the evening, even just before bed. Really, just include that as part of your meditation. Is start off by doing the foot soak, and then and if you have the time as well, maybe also just sit down and go and just keep your hands open and just really just go in depth with yourself and keeping your attention on top of your head, and you'll feel a lot more difference in terms of the vibrations that you feel on your hands. You'll feel like they might tend to start opening up a bit more, so you feel like the coolness flowing through a lot more stronger, and also on the top of your head. So that's also very beneficial. I just wanted to open that question up to Sue. Is there's I guess we can just elaborate on another sort of topic that's related, because we were talking about the liver and the process of how it gets heated and how we're overthinking, and that can cause it to heat. I know there is another technique that we can use, and that's the ice pack. And if you want to talk about that as well.
Yep. So the ice pack is instead of placing the hand on our right Swadhisthana, left hand on the right Swadhisthana, we basically put ice pack on the left Swadhisthana, and that helps to cool down a lot faster. And that is a very easy, accessible way of immediate attention. As we know our subtle system a bit more, we know ourselves a whole lot more. We can use this to fine tune it, and ice pack is amazing. So I use that quite a lot. Yeah, and it's a balancing. It is about all the elements. It is about where you've been. Is about who you've been. to see, was it a good meeting? Was it a bad meeting? Yeah, and we come back and we fine tune. I think that is in essence. And with the ice pack, you can do it anytime. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I find it really helpful as well. I try to do it even when I'm studying or working, like
Yes.
just having an ice pack on your right Swadhisthana, just keeping it there for maybe 10 minutes or even longer really makes a difference. You really feel your chakra cooling down completely. And it's extremely effective. So I highly recommend it.
Yes.
Just in day-to-day
Good
life.
point. Good point,
Yeah.
Kashkia. We should have mentioned that. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Yeah. So yeah, definitely ice pack is really helpful, and just even just having like you can get a few ice cubes and put it into a Ziploc bag, or if you can go to like a store or convenience store and you can get those blue ice blocks that you can just stick in the freezer. So when you're ready, when you do your foot soak, or even just when you're sitting down to meditate, you can just take that out and stick place it on your liver, and that will really help to, as Sue said, really put that attention on cooling down the liver straight away, because especially coming back from work and things like that, we tend to be very heated and obviously overthinking about things, planning about what we've done, what we want to do tomorrow, and just behind this, I guess, as Shimaji had said, and that's all of the science of that. The liver is, processing a lot of the sugars and the fats that are working in our body. So that's when we're thinking a lot, we're converting all the sugars, and that's why it's causing that heat in the liver, over processing our mind and our body. So that's why we want to cool down our liver, because that's the sort of the, I guess you could call it the engine of our body that's processing all these thoughts and all our actions as well. So really helping doing the foot soak and the ice pack included as well really helps to settle our attention and really focus, bringing that back into the center, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what we want to do, is not go too much into the right or the left. We want to bring that into the balance. And so especially this is really recommended for people who tend to be quite active, proactive, or even just like have very stressful jobs, lifestyles that are making them constantly think. This is a really, really helpful technique to use in their day-to-day life.
And you can, instead of using your hand, having to hold it, you can always use a belt or something just to fix it. There's always finding ways to around it.
Sort of tuck it in your pants sometimes as well.
A bit too
when
cold.
you're sitting down. You can put up a tea towel if it's too cold there or something like that. But yeah,
it's all adjustable. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yes. You just have to be as comfortable as you need to be. Even with the water as well. If you tend to be more right-sided, then we definitely say you should have a cold foot soak. So and if you're a little bit more left-sided or not so heated, then you can maybe have a little bit of a lukewarm. And obviously, in wintertime, especially here in Melbourne, gets quite cold. So obviously we don't say have a cold foot soak, but you can have a little bit warm. But that's why you can include the ice pack as well to help cool down the liver for that as well. So yeah, it's all about being comfortable. You don't have to, there's no stress about being uncomfortable with putting, cold ice pack on your liver and being like, in an awkward situation or anything like that. We definitely want you to be comfortable, because when you're comfortable, then you're much more relaxed, and then you'll enjoy the meditation a lot more for that.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose.
So yeah, I think I'll just go over the resources again, because it's been a little bit updated actually. So we'll just go, I'll share my screen. If I can just get the hosting for that. So again, just for anyone who's joined us, we've got the freemeditation.com website, and so we'll just go down as saying. So if you've joined for the first time through YouTube or on the Zoom chat, this is the website that we use for all information, all the current programs that we're doing, the links that go to the Zoom class or joining on YouTube. And then again, we have this WhatsApp group. So if you want to join, if you have any questions throughout the week, or want to ask me, Nina, or Sue, or any of the other presenters any questions that you have, definitely jump on that group, and yeah, we'll try our best to help with anything with that. And so again, going through week 2, we just did the day 9, cooling down the thinking process. So that will be, once this is concluded, that will be there for you to watch later on at your own convenience. And I would definitely recommend watching this video again, because it's quite in depth. It's a very big topic to talk about, and there's quite a lot to talk about. So definitely watch this again. And yes, also if you've missed out on the foot soak technique, you quite don't remember, yeah, you can listen in this again. And then we go down to the resources, and we've also got the resource for preparing for foot soak. So if it gives you a bit of a more visual idea of how to set up your foot soak, and gives you a few cues, and so you can just have a quick glance at that when you're doing your foot soak. And yeah, so you can again go through these resources just to remind you on how to do certain techniques, and any information that you missed out on. And then I think yeah, we've got a new section here, so glossary of terms. So just throughout the series, you'll be hearing a few words that might not make sense to you, or just kind of clarifying these things. So when we're talking about certain things like balancing and clearing, it just gives you a little information about that. So tension is focus, clearing on the left side and right side. Things like, yeah, difference between yoga, the kundalini that we've been talking about, that energy, that subtle energy. So it gives you a bit more information about that. So it's just a nice little glossary just to go over, just for some of the terms that we use throughout the whole series, and you'll hear them a lot when you're doing the meditation as well. So it's a nice little section there. And yeah, so that's all we have for that part. And so yeah. So yeah, I might just quickly open it up to anyone who's got some information, who has any questions at the moment now. Can open it up now to answer anything.
Does anyone want to share their experience for trying out foot soak for the first time? No.
That's all right. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably enjoying the meditation itself. We have gone over time a little bit, but again, this is quite a important topic, and we talked about, a very important aspect of the meditation is the foot soak. So definitely try to include this in your everyday, especially in the afternoon.
So there's a question: would it be okay for children to do foot soak? Of course, yes. It's open to anyone and any age. It's very effective as well for children. Works the same. How do you give bandhan water? Kari, do you want to take this one?
Yeah. So yeah, so it's just a matter of you've got your foot soak bucket on down, and then as Nina just showed you, you just give a little, you can just give a little bandhan like that, just on top of it, like you don't put your hand into it or anything like that, but just above it, you can just a feet above it, you can just give a little bandhan to that, and that will just help to settle the attention and set the tone for how you want to do your meditation. I think that's all we have. And yeah, so again, if you have any other questions, we've got the WhatsApp group, and yeah, and we will try to answer all your questions throughout the week. And if you have any as well, oh, do I know? Do you do bandhan before or after? Oh yes, so you do it before you put your feet in. So yeah, so that's from the beginning when you have your foot soak there. Just before you put your feet in, you do the bandhan. You can put your feet in, and then you take the bandhan that we do, the raising the kundalini and taking a bandhan. Once your feet are inside the water, and then you can proceed with your meditation. And then once you're finished, you do your bandhan, wash your feet, dry your feet, and then you can chuck the water into the toilet or in the sink, and then yeah, continue with the meditation. Cool. So I think we'll leave it at that. And hope to see you all again tomorrow for the next sessions, which is focusing on the next center, the next chakra, which is the Nabhi chakra. So that is all about satisfaction and the inner peace within us as well, being completely satisfied with ourselves without detachment. So I hope you can join us for that one again. So thank you very much.
Thank you. See you all tomorrow.
O Shri Ganesha, you are the beginning and the end. Please bless us in the morning.
Shri Mataji, Queen of Light, O Holy Virgin, clad in purest white.
Shri Mataji, Queen of Light, O Holy Virgin, clad in purest white.
Shri Mataji, Queen of Light, O Holy Virgin, clad in purest white. Shri Mataji, Queen of Light, O Holy Virgin, clad in purest white.
Unlock heaven's golden gates and issue forth.
Unlock heaven's golden gates
Shri Mataji, you are our Mona.